We are here playing some 7 Days to Die, hanging out with Amber, who plays Sonnenblume in On the Line. How is it going?
It's good. How are you? I'm stoked
It's
to kill some
hot.
zombies. Yeah, right? Like,
I
Jesus.
think that's going to be the biggest thing here, because it's not as much as a Meet the Cast. It's Meet the Cast when they've been sweating off their ass all day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
slight
And
permutation.
it's a good time being a welder in 30-degree heat. So,
That is not what you want. Compared to voice acting in the heat, that's probably the worst of the options.
yeah, like getting to sit in an air-conditioned like apartment recording lines is the far better choice.
Oh, you have air conditioning? I'm jealous. I just have like 5 fans.
Yeah, thankfully when we moved, like our last place like only had one thermostat for the entire fucking building. So like we had no control over it, and now we actually have control over our own like temperature in our own apartment, which is lovely.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I don't recall when we first met, you were not a welder.
No,
So
I was
you've
a vet
gone through
tech.
some change there, a vet tech.
Yeah.
Do
Hi.
you want to talk a little bit about how you went from vet tech to, oh, hello,
Hi.
to welding?
Uh, sure. Oh Christ. Well,
Because we'll go into
in
the
high,
voice acting in a bit, but I feel like this
yeah,
happened before that. So I feel like that's an
it
interesting
did.
story.
Um, yeah, when I was in high school, like trying to decide what you want to do with your life. I took a shop class and I really liked welding, and but like I also wanted to work with animals. So like as you do when you're young, I like talked to my parents, and obviously when I approached them of like, these are the two things I possibly want to do with my life, be a welder or get into like vet tech. Actually, it was vet, but they
Yeah,
obviously were like, yeah, medicine, do that. Don't be a tradesperson. So
sure.
that was definitely like a heavy influence. But yeah, so I did that for 10 years and then was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And yeah, went the other way and did my second career choice.
And how long would you say you were doing the vet tech thing before you decided to change out?
10 years ish.
10 years. Wow. That's pretty awesome, though. And it's a good thing, too, because it's always important for folks to have that reminder that you don't have to stay in one thing forever.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
definitely like a hard thing. Like, it wasn't easy to make that decision and like go back to school and like have to start like all over again, basically. But yeah, it's been great for my mental health. So, and I have a
Yeah.
lot more confidence. So yeah, it worked out well.
That's important, too. And I've always heard, like, the issue with going into vet tech is, like, you do it because you love animals, and then most of the career is not getting to love animals. It's dealing with the hardships and the lost limbs and the
Yeah,
putting things down, and that's really tough.
yeah, like we don't really get to see them when they're healthy and doing well. We
Yeah.
get to see them at their worst when they're sick and not great. And
Hmm.
yeah, people obviously like when your animal's sick, it's very like stressful for the owner, and sometimes they take it out on us. So yeah, and like it's just emotionally exhausting. It's
Absolutely.
not helping.
And it doesn't so much. You never. It's one of those things. Like, I think people think you get used to it at a certain point, but that's not really what happens in reality. Is usually you just get more and more broken down. Like, it's not like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Is what doesn't kill
Yeah.
you like really makes your ankle hurt forever, and now you can't sit down for too long, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, like there is a part of you that like does kind of get used to it, but not in like a good way. Like you just become like
yeah,
jaded, uh, which is not
totally,
good either, and you just get like compassion fatigue, which is also what happened.
totally.
Yeah, it's just like a massive like buildup. Like the like quote unquote career lifespan of a vet tech is about 5 years before you like
Hmm.
burn out and like have to do something else. Um, and I made it 10. So,
Oh,
oh my god, there's so many zombies.
there
I
are.
need like a fucking like weapon or something.
I do need a weapon as well. So, vet tech to welding now, and you're enjoying that. You seem to be pretty happy in that role.
Yeah. It's like I said, like a definitely like a 180, I guess. Like people are like, why I like welding? Like it's such a
Mm-hmm.
different um thing. Like it's not even remotely close. And I like I don't know, man. Like
Huh.
you gotta do what you gotta want to do. And like I've always liked working with my hands and stuff like that. And like I
Yeah.
don't know, I like it. It's cool.
No, it's you know, you gotta just chase what you enjoy. It doesn't really matter if it's the same thing. I think even being able to prove that you can do one thing and then move into another and continue to do that well is more impressive than like pivoting just a little bit. But now
Yeah,
that you're
like
moving into voice acting and you're Sonnenblume, and I think it's funny to mention too, is that as far as I've known you, you've always been a little bit of alternative crowd type. That's your fashion style. That's some of your interests. And I've cast you as the blonde person in the group, like the pretty blonde girl
yeah.
who is doing stuff like that. How are you finding having to transpose yourself into this character?
Honestly, it's been like I like to say that I have like content trauma. I was gonna say because I read so much, but it's not even that. It's like happens in like watching TV shows too, like where I get like emotionally attached to a character
Yeah,
and then something happens to them, like they die or get written off the show. So I've just
sure.
like trained myself not to like get emotionally attached. So when
Yeah,
like we first started, I was just like having a hard time like at getting attached to Sonam Bloom just because of like that.
sure.
Um, but yeah, it's like the more that we do it and the more that we do the table reads and the more the chapters go by, like I'm getting like more and more like into her and like attached to her and like the way that she is. And like every RPG game I've ever played ever in my entire life, I always play a magic like user.
Oh,
Always.
okay, so that's fitting.
Yeah. So but I
Perfect.
think like even just like everybody seems to be like naturally falling into like their characters. So
Yeah.
like nobody really seems to be struggling that much. So kudos to you for the casting. Everybody
Yeah,
seems to be just like falling into it.
that was kind of a fun thing too, because we have a really unique mix, and I feel like we're all lucky because of that. We have folks who are like emerging, like yourselves, who this is your first voice acting role, I believe, right?
Yep. Yep.
And that's an awesome thing. But we also have some folks who have been doing it before, or have done it, been flown places to do it, or have projects that they probably can't even legally talk about right now.
Yeah.
But we get to take from that experience and see it from both sides, and there's the excitement and nervousness of not having done it before, but you also get to kind of temper it with the experience you've had from that. When it comes to now that we're a little bit further along, the people who are going to be watching this right off the bat, we're just about to release chapter 3, but
Yeah.
we are a bit ahead of that internally. How have you enjoyed going from the hey, do you want to do this to now it's been coming out for a while? What has that been like for you?
Uh, it's definitely like cool to see something that you've been like a part of actually like come to realization, I guess. Like,
Hmm.
but yeah, I definitely like the first chapter that came out. I didn't listen to it for a very long time. And I
Sure.
just couldn't like bring myself to do it. And like I made Jason listen to it and like watched him like intently while he was listening to it, being like, "How is it? Is it good? Like, what do I sound like?" And then eventually, I was just like, "You know what? Like, you got to do this. Like, you got to listen to yourself." And so
Yeah.
I did eventually. Like, I think when the second chapter came out, so I just kind of listened to them back to back.
Sure.
And like I still get the cringe when I hear my voice, but it's cool to hear everybody else and like the production and everything behind it is definitely like hey, like I was a part of like this is awesome.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fun, and it's intimidating just as well. Like, yeah, I have to understand for me as well, because I have to edit it and I have to listen to every single cut. When we get the final cut, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a strong A minus. As good, it's perfect for release. It's good enough for rock and roll. Let's get this out there. I am done listening to it because I've already
Yeah.
listened to it like 20 times at that point. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know what I'm
Tired of
gonna
listening to
say.
this.
Yeah. I like that when we go from the first to the second, there's like an obvious change in how much you and the cast are getting to speak, how much that's driving where things are going. And that's great for me too because I get to listen to myself less. I might end up having died because I found a dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm might be in trouble here too.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get myself out of this.
This is why you don't try and do interviews during the zombie apocalypse. Like, it's
What?
not.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, I just
Did I do it? I made it.
I came back. Yeah, there's a dog on a roof, but you know what? That's okay. Now we're playing 7 Days to Die because I've seen you playing it a fair amount, and that's okay. What do you like about this game?
Just like actually one of my friends like suggested it to me because I like a lot of like base building games and like survival games.
Mm-hmm.
So like this was just like everything I love combined into one, like zombies and
Mm-hmm.
base building and survival. So it's just like this is great. It's everything I want in a game.
Totally.
Except for the day sevens can go eat it.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. The dog's here now. Perfect.
Yeah, I had a sledgehammer, so I thought, oh, maybe I can get his face, but oh.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. No, I don't want to die. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, if you do, we'll just meet up again. It's okay. We don't have anything.
Yeah. How are you hitting me? I am behind a counter, sir. No! Get out of here.
So, on the topic of video games, we're obviously in the series, we're heavily referencing a lot of MMORPGs at this point in time. Are those the type of genre that you've played a lot of yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what was the first MMO you jumped into?
Like World of Warcraft, I think, probably.
Okay.
Like vanilla. Like in high school, I was like 16, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough. You know, this is it's a weird comment, so don't take this in the wrong way, but I always like, because of the industry that I work in, I'm usually one of the younger people in the room. And when I've been doing these interviews too, I've been reminding that because I'm like, World of Warcraft, that was that out in high school? Or like every now and then people are like, this is the music from, when I was a teenager, and it's music from like the 90s. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even born for another 5 or so years from this point. I'm like,
yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Shush.
Right? But it's just interesting too because like there's a convenience in the fact that most of the people in the cast are pretty established. And then it's really tough to do a creative project like this, especially when there's new folks in the cast who might not like know what it is to go from script to production to keeping that up. Everyone, like most of y'all, have jobs and homes and animals, and it's so much nicer than trying to like start a band with 16-year-olds. If you get the reference I'm trying to make,
Yeah,
where it's
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
hey guys, let's go practice, and they're like, I just want to smoke pot in the garage. You're like, that's not really like.
Yeah, that's not what we're doing.
Write the song, man. Like we can do that too,
Yeah.
but we got to write the fucking song. And yeah, it's there's convenience to that. I see there's a house behind you. Maybe that's a place we can go to like try and live. Oh, you have a gun.
I do. I don't have any bullets though. I just found
it. Can you throw the gun?
It's super helpful. No bullets.
We need to. Okay, there's one of my favorite mechanics, and there's actually I think 2 survival games that do that.
Behind you.
Oh. But I like being able to rob people with MC guns. Oh, dude, does that have ammo?
Nope.
No, okay. And you can't beat people with these guns.
I'm gonna shank you. Get out of here.
Perfect. Okay, so you played World of Warcraft. How long did you play World of Warcraft, would you say?
Until the Panda expansion. I don't remember when that was.
Oh, okay.
I've been clean for a while.
Do you play any of the other things, or did you like pick up with WoW, drop a lot of time into that, and then go, I love my life, and I'm not going to do this anymore? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I took a break when I went to school because I was like, I can't do this. I can't do both things. I need to do school.
Sure.
And school was a priority at that point.
No, totally valid.
Yeah, and then I don't really know. What did I do after that? I got into like Fallout and stuff, which is like one of my favorite games ever. Period.
Absolutely.
And BioShock, Skyrim, that kind of thing. Like those are all like
Yeah,
top
you went
tier
the
for
single
me.
player RPG route for a little while.
Yeah, like I don't really like. I'm not really a multiplayer kind of gal. I just kind of like.
I get that.
I like existing by myself, and if I do play multiplayer, I just kind of like am quiet and just tag along and pretend I don't exist.
See, I get that. That's why I was on a search for like the perfect MMO for a long time because I found like I was like this weird person who I'm like I want to be around other people, but I don't really want to interact with you. I just want to be like, oh look,
Yeah.
you're wearing cool stuff and I'm wearing cool stuff. Okay, bye. And that's why
Yeah.
that's why I play Final Fantasy 14 because it's like it feels like a single player game that you can happen to be playing with other people, which is what I always wanted because it's so much easier to just go, oh, I'm just gonna play Fallout and everything is what I want it to be
Yeah.
compared to sharing.
Yeah, as much as I like everybody gave 76 like so much like bullshit and like so much crap when it first came out. Like I think it's great. I'm just like I can run around and do my own thing. I don't have to talk to you, but I can just kind of like play beside you. Like I don't have to be social if I don't want to, but I can also play with my friends if I want to.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's just I don't know. I like it. Ah! There's
Yeah,
a
I heard some
child
bad
zombie up
sounds.
here.
Oh, there are kids and zombies in this game now? Oh, it's like a teenager. Wow. He's very resilient. Oh, you
Get
destroyed
wrecked.
him.
Ha ha!
Nice. Yeah, let's just see what stuff we can... I got a bandana. I don't think that's going to do me much good,
Ooh.
but...
Yeah, we need some sort of armor as well. Is that
Because I don't have pants. Like, a bandana should be the least of my concerns right now, honestly.
Yeah. Pants should take priority, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Clothes are clothes.
Yeah.
I would like some ammo for my guns that I have. That'd be great. Yeah.
No, I mentioned this before, but I think, especially with a game like this, it's fun to do the interviews in this format because you'll just be like, you know, and then when I was a kid, oh shit, fuck, I'm being attacked. It's like, it's really good unintentional diatribes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have...
even know where to get plant fibers anymore. I haven't played, like...
Is it just this
I'm so
grass?
far
It's just
along
the
in my
grass.
goddamn other game that I don't remember how to play at the beginning anymore. Die, chicken.
I get that. So, what are you playing a lot of right now?
This.
A lot of this?
Yeah. I have been waiting for this game. It's called Little Witch in the Woods to come out.
Oh,
and
totally.
Yeah, they had the early releases out, so I've been playing a little bit of that, but I don't really dig the controls, so that's been kind of frustrating. But yeah, a lot of like cozy games that are like Stardew Valley, like Little Witch in the Woods, that kind of thing.
Are you interested in My Time at Sandrock?
I have
Yonder's
never heard
cute,
of
too.
that.
Ooh, okay. Poke at that after this. I'll send you a link or something. It might be something that's up your alley. Because, yeah, my wife plays all the same sort of games. And truth be told, I do too. Like, I liked Harvest Moon even before Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite Harvest Moon? That's a good question.
I'm not sure if it was Harvest Moon I was playing. It was something like that. Story of Seasons.
Could have been Rune Factory. Oh yeah, Story of Seasons is the official continuation of Harvest Moon. After there's like a name dispute with Natsume and Marvelous, I think.
Yeah, I was playing one of those for a little while. I don't even remember which one.
No, that's
Pioneer
okay.
Village or something like that. I don't know. I was like, this looks cute and fun. I'm gonna get it.
That's fair. Now, in the realm of things that aren't cute and cozy, when it comes to approaching the VA stuff, what have you found the most intimidating?
Just like being there, really. Like this is all brand new to me, and like I've never done anything like this before. So, just like being a part of it, but like yeah, like working with people who have done this professionally, and then you come in like not knowing anything. And it's just like, holy shit, like I'm like these people are gonna hate me and they're not thinking like what a noob, like she doesn't know what she's doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like just like being there has been a little bit intimidating, but like everybody is super nice and helpful. Like everybody on the cast is awesome, and like I look forward to the table reads so much just because like I get to hang out with everybody and talk and like shoot the shit, and like I just think we all jive really well together. But like as soon as I sit down to record my lines by myself, I'm just like, what are you doing? I feel like I have like imposter syndrome, I guess, or just
Totally.
like just fake it till you make it.
That's all confidence is, absolutely. Yeah. No, who actually knows what the heck's going on all the time?
Yeah, I don't
Nobody
even know what I'm
does.
doing in my real life, so
No. You know, it goes even like I found the opposite is nowadays what I find is more true. Where it's just like if people try and say they know every single thing that there is to know, guaranteed that person's probably an idiot. If someone's like, I know this pretty well and everything else, I don't know, we'll figure it out, we'll search it up, but I don't know. Like that, at least they're being honest. You can trust somebody like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get stone, but sorry.
That's okay. I don't remember what I was going to say anyways. ADHD, it's fun.
That's fair.
Yeah. I made clothes, so I have clothes. We're good. Yay.
That's beneficial.
Yeah. And
I don't think you can
just
break
like make
this
yourself
rock.
some like grass stuff.
Yeah.
I
probably should. For all the children who are clearly going to watch something like this.
You're wearing underpants. It's fine. It's not like Ark where you're like butt fucking naked.
That's true too.
That's another game that I really enjoy is Ark. Except it just like I can't like unless it's like a whole weekend kind of thing because like I just get way too into it and it's just like 8 hours have passed and I built a house maybe if I'm lucky.
That's me in RimWorld. Like I can't even start RimWorld unless I have like a week off and you know the dishes are done and I don't plan on wearing too many clothes that week so I don't have to do laundry because it's just like RimWorld is an escapade. You're not going anywhere, but you're not where you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even like I had Ark and I ended up getting into like breeding the dinosaurs and it was just a mess. Yeah, it was just a downhill like I had so many of them and I refused to get rid of any of them because they were my babies, of course. So I just had a stupid amount of dinosaurs and like breeding them in like different cages for all of them. And I was like, this is insanity.
And were you playing on like vanilla servers or did you like do yourself the mercy of changing some spawn rates and taming times?
No.
Sounds like you suffered. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, I suffered mostly. Like I really didn't get into like changing shit until like farther in, and that was mostly just like the day and night cycle. Other than that, I really didn't change anything.
That's impressive.
And like trying to keep those effing things alive while they're babies and just like shoving food down their throat to make sure they don't die immediately was a good time.
Yeah, kind of. It's like going back to first edition D&D. I was like looking at an old rule for first edition D&D, and you had like every day that you weren't at the table was considered a day that your character still had to be alive. So if you didn't have food for the time you stopped, you could like play 1 week, wait a week, come back, and be like, yeah, sorry, you didn't have food for 7 days, so you starved before you even got back to play. Like, there's such dumb things out times. Like Ark is brutal, but I get what you're saying there.
I quit playing D&D at like I was playing at the Sentry Box originally, like when I first started, just to like learn how to play and stuff. But like I couldn't continue because you'd get just stuck with randoms who were like, on page like 23, paragraph 4, line 6, it says you can't do this, and just like get effed. Like I'm just here to have fun and play the freaking game. Like. What I'm not hurting anybody. Like I just want to like play and have fun. Like the rules are more of a guideline. I think it's like a speed limit.
No, I agree. There's a game that is getting really popular nowadays, and I feel like a hipster because I'm like I liked it before it was cool. But like Metal Gear Revengeance, there's a line in there that I reference all the time for D&D. Because Buddy is like talking to this one guy. He's like, "What's your source?" And he's like, "My source is that I made it the fuck up." And like that's how I DM. Like that. You don't like my rules? All right. Well, sucks. Like,
sucks to suck. Guess what? I'm the DM.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest rule is the DM is always right. As long as everyone's having fun, I think that's what's more important. Like, I don't want to be like sound like I'm some Tomb of Horrors DM where it's like every door kills you instantly. Like that's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
But I had actually a big combat just recently, and it was like getting to like 1 a.m. and we forgot to do concentration checks for a polymorph. So it could have changed how the combat played out. And, maybe somebody who's stricter would like try and redo it or re-roll things to see if people would have taken enough damage to die. But at the end of the day, it's like, y'all had a scary combat. It all worked out. We'll just play more and do better next time. Getting two for Snickety, like,
It just like makes it not fun anymore, and like nobody wants that. Like it just defeats the point of playing. I think, in my opinion, like it's supposed to be a social game where you get together with your friends and have fun. Like that's the point of D&D.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with like a rules-intensive game either, but even then, like everyone should agree on the same intensity of the rules. Like if everyone wants to play a game where like you have to micromanage your calories, that's fine if that's what everyone is into. But if like only one person wants to do that, and he keeps on like getting upset with you because you're only eating granola, you're kind of like, okay, like shut the fuck up, guy. Like I don't care. I'm gonna eat nothing but cheese strings. It's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have to like eat a fucking protein with vegetables every day. Like, get over it.
Absolutely. Now I know you and I believe a few other people recently had a recording session where you kind of like dove into the characters and took on some tips from folks who have been doing the voice acting thing for a while. In that experience, what did you find you were learning the most? Like, what was the most fun to practice or learn?
Just like, I guess it's the same thing as like when we do the table read, but just more like intense, I guess. Like when you read a line to yourself and then you read it out loud, like it's not necessarily the way the author, aka you, wanted it to be read, or like the intention behind it, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is the way that I hear it in my head, or this is the way that I would say it. And it's like, well, I kind of more meant it like this way, or had this intention behind it. So just like that's been like, oh shit, kind of thing. But yeah, like having somebody or people who have done it before and like walking you through it is definitely super helpful. And like, it's hard to hear yourself and like the way you speak and like your cadence and like your tone and all that. So like having someone be like, oh, this is actually how you're coming across or how you sound is like super helpful. Like even if you listen to yourself, like your recordings back or whatever, it's not the same as somebody else hearing it. So
yeah, no, I would absolutely agree. And because it's a new skill, are you finding it's fun to figure out, like, because it's your first time diving into the world of voice acting? But I think everyone has an element of them that enjoys doing creative stuff. So has it been fulfilling to figure that out?
Yeah, like it's definitely like the reason I kind of wanted to join and like do all this kind of stuff is because I was thinking about doing like a podcast myself. So I was like, well, I don't really know. I know two things, jack and shit, about any of this. So like just getting to know like how it all works and like the production and like getting used to recording and being behind the mic and stuff like that. Like it's like all of that has been like super helpful.
There's a Zombo
like,
to you.
Definitely. Yeah. Like yeah, just like I can't think and kill zombies at the same time. I'm trying to talk. Yeah, like super helpful, and like everything that I'm learning, I think has like will carry forward if I actually do decide to go forward with the whole podcast thing. So yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's even the part of absolutely, and giving you like the room to explore and figure it out, and change things when it sounds a little bit more natural to you, or allow you to develop the character, even if it's like not a person that you are inherently. Like you can put your personality in there, and I got radiation zone. That's a super bad area.
Get away.
Can't see the radiation, but it is about like Absolutely.
Go there. With a friend.
Letting people explore too. I think every character has been changed a little bit by our table reads. And just as well, we're all adults too. So like, I don't know, maybe you're different. Like, as an adult, do you find it is way harder to keep friendships?
Like in like real life?
Yeah, in real life.
I think it's harder to make friends. Like when I moved here, like I didn't know anybody, and obviously I left all my friends behind. So like 25, having to like make friends and stuff again, like was definitely hard. But basically all the friends that I made, I've kept more or less. But yeah, like people have their own lives and busy schedules and stuff like that. So it's definitely not like teenagers, like where you're like, oh, like I have the whole fucking summer off, so we can do whatever we want all the time. Like doesn't matter, like what is time? It's like I gotta get up and like go to work and like do things and like pay bills and be an adult. Like I don't want to do that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, like everybody has that going on. So yeah, it is harder, but
I just find like if I'm not actively doing anything with folks, it's super easy for like years to go by and just not even have a conversation. Not because like you don't enjoy each other or you're not like still friends on some level. It's just like you don't do anything together or you don't have any reason to talk. And when you're doing so many other things, like, and you're an introvert, you can probably relate. You're like, you know what? I had to have conversations professionally all day. I'm done with humanity right now, you know? Like, even people you love a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that's why, like, I'm friends with the people I'm friends with is because we can just go months without, like, seeing each other.
100%.
And then we, like, see each other and it's just, like, nothing happened. Like, no time has passed and, like, we're totally cool with each other. And, like, we can just, like, not text each other and be like, oh, I texted you, like, 2 weeks ago and you didn't answer. It's like, yeah, well, whatever. Like, like, we're all introverts in that kind of way and, like, antisocial, I guess. So, yeah, like, I guess I just keep normal, like, not normal, like the same kind of company, I guess, is how I am.
But I get what you're saying. Like one of my best friends as an adult, we can go like 3 or 4 months and not have any conversation. And I'm like, oh shit, I haven't talked to that guy in for a while. I'll say hi. Like, you know, that's perfect because I'm not really available all of the time for other people. And not that I dislike folks. It's just like there's so much recovery time, especially working all the fucking time. God. Like, I like my job, don't get me wrong, and I'm thankful for it, but it's still a job.
Yeah, it's like you, like, put so much energy in not only for your job, but, like, being social and, like, talking to people, and then you have to, like, be more social, like, with your friends afterwards. It's like, ugh. It's exhausting.
Yeah. No, I was playing games just the other night with someone for a little bit, and I was like, you know, I'm down to play games, but I don't really know if I want to go on voice chat. And they're like, I didn't want to go on voice chat anyways. I'm like, perfect. We could just play games together silently.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel guilty about it. Even better.
Oh, I forgot that I have to eat shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is very much like apocalyptic sightseeing. But that's okay. That's what it was going to be.
I need to make a campfire. Can I do that? Yes. Whoops.
Yeah, I can make a bedroll. I have a lot of random stuff on me that's not really useful.
Campfire craft. Well, if you have any stuff to cook, I'm gonna make a campfire, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. We'll camp in this ditch.
Just out in the middle of nowhere, because, you know, just plunk it, wherever.
Have you done a lot of wilderness camping in real life?
Not a lot. I've done some. I've definitely done, like, backpacking where, you know, you can't take your car. Like, you're just out with nothing. But not, like, a lot. I love camping, though. I do.
No, camping's the only reason I want a car. I hate everything about cars. I hate paying for them, driving them. I don't like being on a road with other people. I don't like that when you have a car, people want you to do stuff because you have a car. I don't like any part of it, but I like going camping. That part's okay.
How do I fucking... Can I cook this? What's happening here? I don't remember how to play this game. Oh, I see. Oh, good. Charred meat. Perfect. That's great.
I'm gonna collect this wood, I guess. Jeez.
I
Now,
haven't
wait.
been
Go.
camping in a while just because of like COVID and everything, but it's like impossible to get a campsite right now.
Yeah. I'm the same way, especially like over the summer, and we just had like Canada Day weekend and stuff like that. I only want to camp when no one else is out in the woods.
Yep. I
I
don't
know
want to deal with
May Day
people.
camping or May long weekend camping is popular, but like that to me is the worst weekend to go camping because everyone decides they want to go.
I'd
That's
rather
why I got
just go
into
some
winter camping.
random weekend. Ew, that sounds
Yeah,
awful.
no, like one of the first dates I ever took my wife on, I guess arguably we went winter camping. But like that, I don't know, nobody else is out there. It's quiet. You can just set up a fire and it's
Holy
great.
balls. Blech.
I don't know. I like the cold. I feel like it's going to become a luxury as we get further and further into like the world that we're ruining too.
Yeah, that's true. The nuclear summer, I
Yeah.
guess it would be.
People are going to be vacationing for the cold. See it now. 20 years, see an icicle. No, I don't know what it is. I'm not that cynical because I think we'll probably be able to fix things, but what's your biggest fear in regards to all the things that are going on right now? We're living in a weird age, and we're just here telling funny stories about fantasy characters while there's like huge horrors going on. It's a weird mix, but what do you
I don't know,
dislike the
everything's
most?
slightly terrifying right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not in the
like-
city, are you? You're like just outside the city. You don't have to
No,
reveal
I'm in
where,
the
but
city. I'm in
oh,
Calgary.
you're in the city now? Okay. I
Yeah,
thought you were
I moved to
like
Calgary
in
a
Sundry
while
or
ago.
something.
I
don't know where
was
people
in
live.
Strathmore when I first originally moved here, but I've been in
Gotcha.
Calgary for a while now.
I feel like it's less creepy if I don't know exactly where you live, so I'm gonna stand by that.
In the south. I am South Calgary, and we'll just leave it there.
Sure.
What was the original question was before that? Sorry.
No, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
What do you find scaring you the most, or what are you struggling with the most, if anything?
I don't know. Everything, life in general.
Just the whole
Yeah, I
having
went
to do
to
it thing.
like a solidarity. That was a weird way to pronounce that, Amber. English solidarity march for like Roe v. Wade being overturned in the States.
Absolutely.
I just think like that's absolutely terrifying. So, yeah, I went to. It wasn't a protest. It was a solidarity march. So I think that's like on my top front list. Like I was looking into like how to organize it and get it together if somebody else beat me to it. So
No, that's fair. And it's a weird thing too, because I would almost argue that there's an element of it that feels worse being in Canada, and not to like. Obviously, it's worse to be in the States and have that legislation go into place or be removed. But as a Canadian, you have to observe the horror of it, and you have no ability to deal with it whatsoever. Like you can't vote in those elections. We can't make any changes.
yeah, I mean, I've donated and like done all that kind of stuff to organizations to help as much as I can. But yeah, it feels very like you're helpless. Ah! Sorry, I thought you were.
It's okay. My character's drunk, so I can't really tell what's going on. I figured that's gonna make this
I almost
more
stabbed
palatable.
you.
I don't think we have team damage on. Have we been
Okay,
to that
good.
station over there? I think we have.
No, my
Yeah,
other
let's go
backpack's
this
around
road.
here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I guess this is where we died, isn't it?
Yeah, and like people are like asking like why do you care, like it's not happening in the States, and it's just like, dude, like do you not understand like one, I'm an empathetic person and can understand the struggles of other people, and two, like that's our next door neighbor. Like Canada follows very closely into like what the States are doing, and like so many MPs of Alberta are like anti-choice. It's terrifying, dude. Like I like can't.
Oh, I'm
Like
gonna
people
die
are like,
again.
oh, it's not gonna like happen here. Oh fuck. I died.
We both died.
And I'm just like, you don't know that, man. Like, it's terrifying. Like, if it happened there, it could certainly happen here.
Oh yeah, and there is a certain level of like, sure, it's not directly. Oh, I had a bed. It's not directly our issue, but just because it's not like, just because someone's not shitting on your lawn doesn't mean you're okay with them shitting on the street. You know, we all ultimately, and I maybe you can relate to this. I've had this big disappointment with the states because when Obama got elected, I was like, oh, maybe they're getting their shit together. Maybe I can go down there someday. Maybe I can travel to the States and like have a positive trip. And then the past few years have just been like, no. Oh, you were very wrong. Oh no.
Yeah. You might want to run. There's a zombie chasing me.
Oh,
and
let's
he's very
beat him
fast.
up. Oh, there's also a dog, so I don't. Oh, is that a good dog? I don't know. Now it's not.
Oh, well, we punched it, so.
I didn't even know there would nice dogs in this game.
I don't think there is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
I think we
I
made
feel less
progress.
bad.
Yeah, I feel less bad. I always feel bad. Like, I don't care about killing people in games, but like animals, I'm just like, I'm sorry.
That's exactly how it is.
And like when they like whimper and make sad noises, I'm like, oh my god, please stop! You were trying to eat me. It was self-defense, I swear. You started it.
It's a horrible thing about humanity, and you know what? Honestly, it kind of even goes into stuff that we're going to be able to show and talk about and on the line, because when people have any degree of separation, you know, you can get really, really sociopathic. Like if you're not really into people in a video game, you're like, yeah, I just shot 25 people in the head. I feel fine. I'm gonna go have like a sunny D.
Whatever.
But you know, if you like accidentally took out the toe of a dog in a video game, you're like, no, I'm gonna reload my save. I don't want this to be true.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because how much of that would you say personally? This is, I guess, a good question. How close to the person that you play in video games are you in real life?
Oh, like, I can't play a bad person in a video game. Like, I'll start a freaking game and be like, I'm gonna make all the bad decisions. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna kill everybody. And like, as soon as it comes to like that choice, I'm like, nope, I can't do it. Like, even though it's not a real like thing that has no like real consequences, like I just can't like. Like my morals are just like, nope, this is bad. You can't be a bad person. This is wrong.
No, I feel the same way, and just as well. I think it's like it's almost a little funny because you talked about the video games first, so I was expecting you to be like, yeah, in a video game I can't make the wrong choice, but in real life I got 5 bodies behind me right now. Like, no, I don't know. But I get you.
Like,
I can't do that.
I read a lot of like true crime, so if you ever need to like hide a body, I got you. But you know.
Well, this is a horrible place to admit it. We're recording this. No.
I mean,
What?
it's fine. I don't know how to hide a body. It's fine. I don't know how to kill people legally. It's fine without people finding.
No.
What?
I mean, legally, you could just join the police force. No, I'm pedantic. Awful.
It's becoming a political.
Yeah, I think that's what actually that kind of happens a little bit near the end of all of these, because I think one of the reasons that we all get along is because we all seem like we're pretty like-minded when it comes to, you know, topics and morals and things like that. We don't. That makes it really easy because we haven't had a moment in any of our table reads or anything like that where I've said something and I'm instantly like, oh fuck, I've pissed off half of these people unintentionally. We usually just go into separate sorts of rants about the things that are also bothering us, that's my people, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, you put us together, so I feel like, you know, you knew who you were getting into bed with, so to speak, and...
You hope so, but have you ever experienced something more scary than introducing one group of friends to another group of friends?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, that's absolutely terrifying.
It's a weird mix, because it's like, folks I know, like I met you on Reddit. There's some folks I know from my like professional white collar software job. There's some folks I know from like elementary school. I'm like, I don't know how any of these people are going to play together well enough. So that's nice.
I think that I was more so less terrifying before I got into the trades, but now I have like trade friends and like they're not really known for playing well with others, I guess. So Yeah, that's
Would you
more
find
terrifying
that's
now.
true in your world right now? Or are a lot of the folks that you work with pretty closed off, traditional folks? Oh, there's a spooky wolf right there. It's like
I'd
red
say
eyes.
it's pretty split. Like I've definitely met people who are on one end of the spectrum and like I don't agree with anything they say, but like whatever, I just kind of have to work with them. But also other people who are like are immediately, you know, it's instantly click and like get along and are friends. So yeah, I think people in the trades are just more like vocal about it, I guess, or seem to be like they just don't really give a shit about what other people
Sure.
think of them.
And you don't have to as much. Like
Yeah,
you're kind of it's a bit more of a meritocracy. You know, you're judged by the quality of your work. There are definitely folks in like the corporate world who might not do anything, have convinced other people they do, and that's good enough to like collect a salary.
yeah.
Very different worlds sometimes.
Even like I wouldn't say being a vet tech was like definitely not white collar, but you definitely like I definitely watched my mouth a little bit more and like what I said and like
Hmm.
oh for fuck's sakes, could you not? I was trying to get my shit. Stop it!
Yeah, I'm gonna die again. It's just a lot of death.
We're just dying. It's fine.
That's okay.
Meh.
It's practice for
Yeah,
real
like,
life.
exactly. Yeah, like just watching what I say and like more walking on eggshells, I guess, than in the trades. I kind of like let loose a little bit more and don't really watch myself, and I can swear as much as I want, so that's great.
No, that's
It's an
absolutely
entirely
fair.
different feeling, like being able to tell your boss to fuck off and like they don't care. They
Yeah,
just like laugh it off.
that's pretty fair. You know, what's funny is like I don't have the skin to do it. Because I don't recognize that people are like jokingly being mean, and I'm really bad at jokingly being mean. I'm only good at like being nice and being really, really, really cruel. And I'm not good at the in between. So like even once at
Yeah.
work, somebody was like, you know, jibbing me a little bit, and I just kind of looked over as like, what are you doing right now? They're like, I'm making fun of you, and I was like, oh, okay, and then I just left. Like I didn't know what to do with the situation. I was
Bye.
just like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to be made fun of, so bye.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, he like reached out later. He's like, oh, you know, I was just having fun. Like I don't even know. Or like every now and then, like my wife will like playfully like make fun of me, and I'll just be like, oh, and I won't fight back. I won't say anything. I'll just be like, oh, you said something mean to me. Like I'm such a lame person to make fun of because I just don't like. I don't have a good reaction. It's not fun for anyone.
Yeah. You hurt
Yeah.
my feelings. I'm leaving.
Yeah. It's just like you told your grandma that you don't like her cooking. Like nobody wins and everybody's sad. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's just not a great situation.
That's hilarious. Honestly, though, like I was the same way. Like before getting into welding, like I said, like it's built my confidence up a lot.
Yeah.
And like I just don't take anybody's shit anymore, which is wonderful. And like being able to like stand up for myself is great. But yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. A lot like my sense of humor is very like dry and like deadpan and like sarcastic 99.9% of the time.
Totally.
So like I'll just say something and like people think I'm serious and I'm just like I'm joking. Like please don't, like I didn't mean it. Like immediately backpedal so I don't hurt somebody's feelings.
No. It is a thing. Now, do you find now that you know we won't talk about it directly, but have you found yourself relating to the character you're playing in real life, or even to expand upon that? Is there anything that you think you would like to do as the character that maybe you haven't had an opportunity to do yet?
I think like I don't think I'm not allowed to have spoilers.
No, yeah, talk around stuff, tease things, but nothing directly.
Yeah. In game, I don't really relate to Sonnenblume as she is, but like learning who she is outside of the game, I've definitely been able to like connect with her a bit more and like definitely find things that I have in common with her.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's as much as I can say without really like spoiling anything.
No, I think that's fair, and you know, it's weird too because part of Sonnenblume is the fact that like and this is described in the first time the audience meets her is like she's kind of a very prim and pretty character, and she's not egotistical, but she's aware of that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a dude, so like it doesn't. I've never had to live as a woman. I haven't had those experiences, especially on the internet. But Sonnenblume has definitely been a character where I'm trying to, put into literature all the horror stories I've heard from the fact that I've had female friends all my life. And the internet can be a frustrating place to have that experience, even though, it's just a random thing being born a different way, and now the entire world is different and everyone treats you differently. And Sonnenblume's a kind of a fun opportunity to explore that. I'm glad that you get to be the one to do that, and that you've had so many experiences yourself.
Yeah, like that's definitely like one thing I can definitely relate to, and like you just absolutely nailed it, like 100%, like the feeling and like the way that even people just talk about it to each other, like girls talk to girls about it. Uh, it's like no offense, but talking to guys isn't really the same. Like you just like a different experience, and like trying to explain it to somebody who hasn't experienced it, they're just like, "Oh, you're making that up or you're exaggerating." It's like, no, dude, like this shit happens, man. Like anytime I've played an MMO online, I do not talk on my mic ever.
No.
Like I just don't. And it's yeah, like I've had some like pretty traumatizing experiences to make that the case, like why I don't do that. So yeah, but as for things like I'd
Absolutely.
like to see her do, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I didn't really like she's done a couple things as her character, but we really haven't like explored her like abilities very much.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's done like a couple like buffs and stuff like that, but it'd be interesting to see like her full scale of like what she can do as her like character.
Absolutely. I think she's actually with again. I can't spoil anything for you either because I know you like jumping into the scripts the second you can to figure out what's going
Oh
on.
yeah.
But she has a journey that I think is really really captivating, and it's kind of one of my favorite things about everyone getting their own character. And the wolf is right there.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't even see it. It's helpful. It's pitch black.
Okay, I jumped over a fence, but now this is a bad situation. Oh, this area is. This game is just likes to kill you.
Yeah, I think we just backed in. And it's like nighttime, so everything's like super aggressive and like running instead of like
Oh, that's
shambling
right.
around. So yeah, it's a good time.
Right. No, that's fair. With stuff to do though, we're already kind of getting to stuff that the audience doesn't get to see. Ha ha ha. But Sonnenblume gets to grow in some really fun ways right off the bat. I think her central conflicts, the things that are motivating her, are going to become some pretty big focuses, just for the obvious
Oh yeah,
reasons
I
there.
definitely like am foreseeing things happening, and then I'm excited. Like you said, like as soon as you release the like script, like even if it's an hour before the table read, I'm just like devouring it. Like some people have said they like doing it like fresh off the bat and like reading the script as they go to kind of like have like a genuine reaction, I guess. But like I
Yeah.
just can't. Like I'm such a like voracious reader, and like I like knowing things, and like I can't handle like cliffhangers. They drive me crazy. So I'm just like, I need to know what happens. I need to know what's going on. Like and it's a good story, and like I'm invested in it, obviously for more reasons.
That's
than
good.
And I just broke my leg. Cool. So,
I'm invested in it because I broke my leg. Wow, it's a weird
yeah.
life story there, Amber. No, totally valid.
So yeah, I just like reading it, like knowing what's going on, and like I like knowing it for everybody too, like not just for Sonnenblume. Like I like Sonnenblume. Like everybody's story and like everybody's arcs that's happening right now, like especially where we are in the table reads that I'm not allowed to talk about. Like shit's crazy. So yeah, it's definitely It's gonna
Yeah,
be a wild ride.
it's a lot of growth, a lot of change, a lot of fast pace, and then you're dropped on your butt. But that's fun because the characters get to do some really cool stuff at that point, and
Yeah, definitely.
everyone gets to
I'm
hang
excited.
out. It feels and sounds like you and everyone are getting to know each other because obviously you are, but it's showing, which is pretty fun. And I think an interesting note here because we kind of touched on it, and there's some synergy there with you and the character Sonnenblume. And I think if memory serves, Sonnenblume is basically the German word for sunflower.
Okay. I didn't know
That's
that.
that's basically where she got her username from because she's blonde. But
Cute.
you being somebody who's played a lot of games, and we talked about you don't even talk on a mic when you're playing games because you're a girl. What have if you're willing to share any of those things? What are some standout experiences being a female gamer that even if you can use them to relate to Sonnenblume? What is
Oh
that like?
boy.
If you want to speak to it.
Yeah, like I don't know, like even like people don't know what you look like in real life most of the
Yeah.
time. Like you're like this avatar, right? And it doesn't it truly shouldn't matter. Like you should just be able to play the game and like it shouldn't matter. But anyways, like
Mhm.
just people just immediately like latching on and being like, "Oh, a girl gamer," like blah 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 blah, like, "Oh, like do you actually play games?" And like people like judging you almost, but also like flirting with you. It's like this weird like tear you down and then like bring you back up somehow. Like, oh, like you can't play this game. You're trash. You're a girl. Oh, like what do you look like in real life? Like, can you send me nudes? Like that kind of thing. And it's just like, what is happening right now? Like, what? Like, do you talk to people in real life this way? Like,
You pointed an SMG at me. That's not what this means, sir. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
no,
just
it's pretty weird.
like it's just a bizarre like and yeah, like immediately when you talk, just people just it's either one or the other or both at the same time. People either are extremely rude to you
Hmm.
and like just treat you like garbage or are just like all over you and like flirting and like trying to get your number and like your snap and all that. Or this weird
Hmm.
combination of both. And it's just like I don't understand. Oh my god, please run away. I have a broken leg and I can't help you.
Oh, it's okay. I have an abrasion. It looks like my
But
knee
yeah.
hurts. There's
It
a lot of zombies here. Please go on.
it's I don't know. Like I like even sometimes I'll play as a male character just so people don't
Sure.
even get like the like slightest whiff the fact that I'm a girl.
Yeah.
Rip.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, it's like.
Yeah, and like it sucks. Like I just want to play the game and enjoy it like everybody else. Like
Mhm.
I don't know.
How do you feel like that could be improved just based on your own experience? What would make it so that even characters like Sonnenblume don't have to end up not letting anyone know who they are, what they look like, how to contact them because they're legitimately afraid of constantly being stalked by people? Like, how do you think it could get better if it could?
I don't even know if it can just because of the way people are, but like yeah, like why does it have to be a different thing? Like why can't we all just treat each other the same? Like I don't understand. I don't know. But like trolls exist and will exist forever and it doesn't matter. Like people will always find a way to make other people uncomfortable, like not even just
Mhm.
females, but people in general, like content creators and stuff like that. They just get hate from like all different directions and like I just don't understand. Like I'm of the like if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Like there's so much
Mhm.
content and shit out there for people to consume. Like if you don't like somebody's stuff, just move on. Like you don't need to be mean and like rude about it. Like it takes 2 seconds to scroll past it. Like it takes like what 5 minutes to type out a nasty comment. Like I just don't understand what people are gaining from it.
No, I can't. I can't say I understand that part either. And that's actually one of the hardest things to write in this series and like create opposition for you in the cast and like in that part of humanity because I don't get it. Yeah, I'm the same type of person who just like, "Oh, okay, this isn't for me, but it might be for someone else. As long as it's not
Yeah.
hurting anyone, I think that's where I draw the line. Like, there is some media out there that I think is unfortunately dangerous. And I don't believe in censorship, but it's also tough where you're like, it's kind of like alcohol. Like, is it bad for everyone? No, but can some people be trusted with, no, or not be trusted with it? Also, yes. So it is tough to know where to draw the line.
Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, like there's like people have like I'm a terrible millennial and I have like every social media ever.
Mhm.
So like there's TikToks of like people's accounts like selling children, like child pornography and like selling children on TikTok, and it's just like they just let them, like it just exists, and like it doesn't matter if you report it, they just make a new account, and it's just like, what is this world? Like I don't get it. Like what is happening?
Yeah.
It's like it's horrible. Like,
No,
and then there's like people
there's
who
weird
just want to
stuff.
like make like nice videos and like, you know, be innocent on the internet, and like it's just such a weird like meter.
It's tough too because like I was watching this one program and it was talking about Bill Cosby, and it was talking about how like, okay, in a perfect world, say he did have like a kink for having sex with unconscious women. In a perfect world where there's no judgment about that type of thing, he could find somebody who was okay with that or was okay to be paid for that and safely communicate how to do it, where to do it, and make it work. And that would arguably be okay. The issue is when people just start not asking or taking
Yeah,
whatever
you
they
know,
want or
consent
just
is
doing it
key. Yeah.
anyways. Yeah.
Consent.
And
Yeah.
finding your community. Like if you want to be some fucking freak, like that's fine. Just do it with other people who are exactly on that same speed.
Yeah, who also
And maybe
want to
that's
do that.
where yeah, exactly. And I think that's where people from my experience anyways, like they even with other men, like I've seen dudes like try and be, really sexual with a girl who's not into it. And they spend so much time doing that that if they just went, okay, this person isn't into it, but if I keep looking around, maybe I will find the person who is. They end up so, upset and disappointed and frustrated when in reality you're just barking up a tree that there's no point to fucking bark up, and they're getting
Yeah.
upset and entitled about it. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, like putting their energy in the wrong spot. Like, yeah, like there's definitely places and communities where you could do that. You just need to find it, and like,
Yeah.
like consent and all that. Like, yeah, people are bizarre.
No, that's fair. All of these interviews they usually end pretty political. So, is there anything that you would like to shout out, reference, any causes that are important to you, anything you'd like to say as we move towards the end of this interview here?
Yeah, I mean, just like if you have the time or energy donating to like American, like supporting abortions, like Whole Women's Health, or I'm not going to get too political about this, but the Satanic Temple, they also help and support abortions and through religious exemption and stuff like that. So, and it's free to join and you don't have to pay anything. Nudge, nudge, nudge.
Satanism is one of the best like commandments ever. Like it's so peaceful.
Best.
But the fourth one is like, if anyone treads on you, destroy them. And I think that's one of the best commandments ever. I like classic LaVeyan Satanism.
It's just wonderful. And like, yeah, there's no donation fee. You don't need to donate, and there's like no membership fee. You just have to sign up, and then like they help you, they protect you. And if you need to get an abortion, they'll help you. So yeah, and Whole Women's Health is a really great one too, that I've donated to. But if you can't do that, look into protest or march or any way that you can help, volunteering and stuff like that. So I know times are tough and people don't have money. So
no, if you can, it's an important thing to do. And I love the idea of ending this on a note of supports abortion and worship Satan.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That sums up Amber fairly well.
There you go. You got to meet the cast and more. Thanks for taking the time to do this today, Amber.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had fun, even though we died a whole bunch, but you know, it happens.
We made it.
We did it.